Good morning, everyone. This is Colette Marie Stefan. Welcome to The Truth is Funny on Transformation Talk Radio. I have a really wonderful show today. I'm excited to bring my guest on. We've been working together to advertise Illuminate Psychic Fair, which is on January 30th, and then on February 1st and 2nd is the big fair. So there's 4 days, and I'm so excited that I am going to be able to be there, and that I've been asked to set the tone for the event on Thursday night. And Elizabeth Beads is our amazing keynote speaker. So I'm pumped to be with everybody there. And so I have Kathy Reid on the show with me this morning. And Kathy is a brilliant woman. She's totally been a huge support for many people that are bringing out this information. And so we will take calls today, 1-800-930-2819. But I want to bring Kathy on. We just did she interviewed me yesterday on Facebook Live on the Illuminate page. And now I'm excited to be able to interview her and to find out, what's going on with the fair. And also, I want to know how she manages to do all she does. Kathy, are you there?
I am. Morning, Colette. Thank you
Good morning.
so much for letting me be your guest on this beautiful talk radio show, which is a new experience for me. So thank you. I appreciate that. And you are going to be our opening speaker for the fair. So big responsibility there to bring the energy into the actual Illuminate 2020 Psychic Fair. So that's awesome.
I say 2020 vision and 2020. Let's start the
Exactly.
decade off right.
Exactly. I call it the heart year because it is a 4. We're stepping into a 4. And of course, on the chakras, it is the 4 of the heart. So it's really about opening that heart and living from it. So yeah, we're very excited. Great opportunity and a very promised future for 2020.
So, Kathy, before we get talk any more about Illuminate, I'd really love to have you tell people a little bit about yourself, and what how this all came about, and your all the years that you have put into
Of
this type of work.
course. Yeah, thank you. Well, I started my journey about probably 20 or 30 years ago. Had this calling in my heart. I was a very busy mom of 3, and there felt like there was something just missing. I just didn't know what it was. So I started on my spiritual path and meditated and, read books, stayed up all night, trying to feel that energy that was kind of missing inside myself. And over time, of course, things changed and my life became quite a rocky road. And I had a huge support system with that community that was part of Kelowna. And one day they all said to me, "Why don't you start a fair?" And I said, "A fair? Okay." That sounds like a good idea. I'll check that box. So we
That's
did.
that sometimes is the problem when people get too inspired.
Yeah. I don't know how to do this, but I'll figure it out. So we started off with a really tiny fair. It was called the Mystical Market, actually. And it hosted a few, I'm going to say probably 25 people. And then we changed it to the Holistic Market because Mystic Market back about 11 years ago was a bit too airy-fairy, I guess, if you'd call it. So we really wanted to bring more people into it. So we called
Mhm.
it the Holistic Market. And we ran that, I think it was one Sunday a month. And yeah, kind of grew from there. And I started it was called Total Health Fair and stepping more into more traditional. And it just didn't speak to me. And I took some time off. And about 7 years ago, not about 7 years ago, 7 years ago, Tommy Henley and I started Illuminate Psychic Fair and more. And so it just grew from there. It was, yeah, quite an experience. But I've always been a meditator and I'm a Silva grad. And that really is how I got started in the
Ah,
metaphysical community. Silva
ah.
teaches you about clearing and actually calming down the mind chatter and really
Mhm.
getting into the center of who you are.
Well, what I love so much about the psychic fair
Mhm.
is, from my experience working with thousands of people from around the world, is
Yeah.
that when people have even like a physical pain, it rarely at root cause is physical. And so if I energetically test it, it'll come up non-physical. And when it comes up non-physical, then I'll ask, well, what? And it might be emotional, psychological, psychic, mental, intellectual. There's so many. We're very multifaceted as human beings, and we operate on many times and energies in space. And even though many people have uh, they'll have a lot of similar hidden energetic weaknesses regarding specific things, but we're all very unique. So sometimes people will say, well, what can one person do? Well, look what you did. Creating all this just by listening to that intuition and your inner voice. And
Yeah.
so this is what I love about the psychic fair, because people might go to like a health fair or a wellness
Mhm.
fair and feel like that the products are all going to work. But if the underlying root cause issues of why a person is ill, then if those are not taken into consideration and and eliminated, the struggle to regain health is a lot more challenging.
I am in total agreement with that. I was a EFT coach for many years, and it's really about getting to that root core issue. And sometimes you have to go back even into previous lifetimes. We
Yeah.
bring things in from our ancestors,
Hmm.
things that we've experienced when we were a small baby. It's quite interesting. You become like a little detective, and you're in there and you're trying to determine what is that core issue. Because you're right. If you're just working on the surface, and continue to work on the surface, you'll see some results, but you really do need to dig deep in that energy that your body's flowing with, right? Energetically.
Absolutely. And I did
Yeah.
mention that we are taking calls if people want to call in. And I forgot to say the number 1-800-930-2819. And, I will do energetic shifting like I normally do on my show. And so will Kathy, because she automatically does it too. But we're going
Yeah.
to continue to talk about Illuminate. And I know, like, I'm thrilled and so honored to open this event. Last year, I was on your panel of experts, and I spoke at it another year. And now you have a lineup of all these speakers also. Do you
I
want to
do.
mention something about that?
Yeah, we have the speaker series going throughout the weekend, so all day Saturday and all day Sunday. And really, ultimately, you can come to the fair and just listen to the speakers. You don't have to even participate with anything else. We encourage everybody to walk around and of course, get a reading or whatever they require, because we have lots of other services there. But our main focus is, of course, psychics, and that comes in all different tea leaf readers, yourself, shifts, and all that. Yeah. So, but the speaker series is really a big draw because you get to listen to some incredible people,
Hmm.
and they talk about a variety of, just so a variety of things. So it's very interesting. Yeah, it's great. It's awesome.
Yeah, and so this event, let's just tell people about this, and when we're going to have to take a short break here in a couple minutes, but
Okay.
I would like to just give you a chance to talk about the times and where it is,
Certainly.
and how to buy the tickets, because I find on radio time, if people start calling in, we get a little off subject. So I just want to make sure that I don't forget to do that for you. And so when we come back, I'll get you to share that information with
Yeah.
everybody, and also how they can connect with you. And
Fantastic.
we'll continue on with that. This is Colette Marie Stefan. You're listening to The Truth is Funny on Transformation Talk Radio. Happy New Year. I'm so happy to have, I'm working for people to have 2020 vision in 2020. We'll be right back. 1-800-930-2819. If you just have a question about the fair, or you would like an energetic shift, or you just want to ask Kathy a question about herself, please do call in. We'll be right back to make some more shift happen. Hi, everyone. This is Colette Marie Stefan. You're listening to The Truth is Funny on Transformation Talk Radio, and we have the most beautiful Kathy Reid on the show with us today. We are taking calls. We are willing to shift energy. We are talking about the Illuminate Psych Fair, and you can call in 1-800-930-2819. Kathy, can you please tell us your contact information, and also how people can actually purchase tickets for Illuminate?
Perfect. Thanks, Colette. I appreciate that. So yeah, you can go to www.illuminateyourlife.ca, and on there you can purchase tickets for the fair. It starts on January the 30th with our keynote presentation with, of course, Colette opening the fair and Elizabeth Beads being our keynote presenter. And the fair starts Friday night. And so there are tickets that you can get on for Friday night that are 2 for 1. So buy a ticket, bring a friend. And then Saturday it's all day and Sunday it's all day. So again, you can go to www.illuminateyourlife.ca. And there you can buy your tickets.
Thank you so much. And we were talking a little bit about the fair before, but we do have someone calling in now. So, or do we have a caller, Zach?
Yes, we have Raul from Santiago, Chile.
Oh, okay. Let's have Raul come on, and we'll see what he wants.
Absolutely.
Hello, Raul.
Hello, Colette.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. Are we ready to go?
Yeah, you're on the air.
Sweet. I was just thinking about our previous. I was getting excited like in the past, like years and years and years ago, and now I'm getting the same nervous feeling. And just wanted to check in with you. I've been feeling a little bit like I'm not doing enough.
Kathy, can you relate to that?
I have the opposite feeling. I'm doing too much.
Yeah. So, what I like to do is just get a baseline. So, the thought that you're not doing enough, what on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being like hair on fire, press the panic button, and 0 being, hey, I'm totally neutral to this. Where are you on that scale?
Between 6 and 7.
Okay. And what is bothering you the most about it?
I'm remodeling that house. I'm not doing the work anymore because I already did the demo, but somebody else was doing the work. So I go check, I go check in with them, and then it's like, okay, I have nothing to do. And then, okay, I need to spend time doing something else, but I need to keep an eye on this, guys. And also money is going out a lot. So, and it's like, I get a little anxious. So that's happening.
Okay. So, right now, this is why I love how this works on my show, because Kathy, you have a very busy event coming up, and I have 2 or 3 events, and then some of my own, and the radio shows, and all of these things to do. How do you, Kathy, organize so that you feel like that you're in consistent steps of action?
Well, I write everything down. I make sure that I have a list of things that need to be taken care of for the day. And then I do what I can do. And the rest of it goes on the list for the next day. Because I do many things, of course. And it's really about balance. And when you're really busy, you get out of balance.
Oh, yeah, very easily.
So it's really important to keep and make sure that you take time to have some inner guidance, some meditation, encourage, any type of exercise. But in this other gentleman's case, he's feeling anxious because he's not in control, maybe? Is that what's going on? Or do you feel like you're not in control?
I remember. Yeah, I'm remembering when I used to have 2 jobs and 1 day off a week for years. I mean, almost a decade. I felt better than I feel right now. I have the whole day for myself, and I'm not doing anything, really. Not doing anything that has to do with my purpose, which is studying or doing some other things.
Mm-hmm. So, Raul, what I'm picking up here is that, like, the energy, Kathy and I were just talking about this, because New Year's landed on a Wednesday, and so on, really from the Thanksgiving till like January 7th, I found it very challenging to get any business done anywhere because everybody was away for holidays or busy doing Christmas or whatever holidays they were doing. And it's starting to pick up again now. And what I love about this year is that 2020 is also a new decade. And so you're weak to the fact that you're starting a new decade is what I'm picking up energetically. This is, and you're, the overwhelm that you're feeling is, it's really interesting because a lot of people wait their whole lives to do something once they're retired. And so what you're expressing is retirement, but you're not really retired either. So that's kind of, yeah, that's what's coming up. And people who retire, it's not uncommon for them to, check out of the planet 18 months later. A lot of people, like, because they go into this place where you are, where there's nothing to do. They thought that that it was going to be, retirement was going to be different. So I don't even like to use that word. And you're not in retirement. You're more like doing what a lot of people on the planet are doing. A lot of my clients, and I've been doing a lot of private consultations with a lot of people, like emailing me or texting me or whatever, and they're panicking and they're like feeling like you, very anxious. And we discussed yesterday, because I was interviewing Kathy was interviewing me and Elizabeth Beads, and we were talking about this very thing about taking the anxiety down. And I'm a big fan of what she said. I find when people write something down and then you can check it off your list, it just feels so good. And so I'm also, and this helps to keep you organized. And I find, like, this morning, I felt like kind of like you, a little bit in overwhelm, like, oh my goodness, I've got the radio show and then I got this and this. I've got, a plumber coming. I've got a fence guy coming. It snowed a foot, so I've got some shoveling to do. I'm organizing my books. But I find this morning when I got up, because I get up at 5 a.m. when I have a radio show at 8, and I cleaned my kitchen spotless. And I felt so calm. And so we were talking about this on yesterday's interview with Elizabeth about, these, just to take that 1, 2, 3. I don't feel like doing this, but I'm going to. And you're putting your shoes on and you're going out the door. So even if you only go, like, say for, meditate for like a short period of time rather than a long period of time. I meditate very quickly in the difference between when I'm energetically shifting. So I just want to get in touch with you now and just ask, like, what has your number changed at all?
Slightly.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly.
What's slightly?
Yeah. I would say 5.
5. Okay, so see, that's the energy of being kind of caught in the middle. So we're just going to yeah. Does that resonate with you?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Kathy, have you ever been caught in the have you ever been caught in the middle?
Absolutely, lots and lots. And it's just pulling yourself back and determining what exactly, what is this all about? Because when you're really a busy person, you don't have time to be thinking about, what's the next step, because you already have it set out, right? So when you stop doing that.
And that's what's coming up as Rawls' major weekness here.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the structure anymore.
No.
And so he has
a lot. Something that,
yeah.
Do you love doing, is there something that you really love that you could find yourself stepping into? I don't know what that is. Do you have any hobbies of any kind that could, start to pacify this anxiety a little bit?
Yeah, I could, but I find excuses to kind of dedicate my time to either the house that I'm living in, or, I do that later and I don't end up doing it.
The do it later.
The do it later. We talked about that yesterday. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that we talked about is just making small starts. So whatever that you are procrastinating on, just do a little bit of that, whatever it is. Maybe it's going for a walk. And we talked about even just putting your shoes on, because the mind chatter will actually talk you in and out of everything. It'll say, no, you don't have time for that, or, oh, you got to do this. So it's really paying attention to that mind chatter. Mm-hmm.
So the energetic shift here is like, throw your mind into the black hole.
Yeah.
And then allow the energy to shift in a way that through the white hole, I call it black hole, white hole. It's not exactly how physics would, or physicists would explain it, but I did study with physicists and get an understanding of what a black hole is, and the energy, and because I was very interested in how does energetic shifting actually work, like, and so I went and I studied with the Resonance Project Foundation and with Nassim Haramein and with a bunch of quantum physicists, which was very challenging for me because I didn't really do very well in algebra in high school. But I understood that there are times like when a person needs to rest, and what happens is the universe will actually put you under a rest. And I'm getting your under a rest right now.
Yeah, I think the other thing I want to mention is that, we're always growing and changing. Nothing stays stagnant. And you are the co-creator of your life. So if you really want to make some changes, with Colette's help, of course, it's up to you to start doing that, for sure. Absolutely. Maybe writing down.
The thing about Rawl is, oops, I think we were supposed to take a break. Is it okay, Zach, if we just go through?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get it.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Okay, so the thing, because I really, what exactly what Rawl is speaking about right now is what I'm finding that people are connecting to me right now. And a lot of my clients, like, just like, I got this, like, and the money's not, and the money's going out, there's not money coming in, and they're, the anxiety level is very high. And then if they get into, an inward place and go inward, and we energetically shift it. I had a client from Germany yesterday morning, and she had a big opportunity and was all excited about it. And we worked on it energetically because she was a week ago, she was feeling really, really sick, and she was afraid she would not be able to go. And we energetically shifted it. And she said she was still feeling like really sick and had to cancel. And then she couldn't get into the next seminar. And then I emailed her back and said, how are you now? And she's like, oh my goodness, I'm at a 3. I feel better. And they gave me another opening. And you know what the issue was? It wasn't money. It wasn't career, because this was a big career opportunity for her. It wasn't her health. What it was her sympathetic nervous system and her endocrine system, because she went into what I call survival mode. And survival mode is the base chakra. And that's my attitude card that I was speaking about last night. Attitude, that card is really good for reminding me. I have her where I work to remind me to always keep a good attitude. And what I mean by a good attitude isn't turning a negative into a positive or something bad into a good, because that's quantumly impossible. Yeah. So when I'm energetically tuning you into, Rawl, because when you do take action, you do take action. Like Rawl has called into the show a few times, and he had met a woman and moved out there and quit both jobs and sold his house. So now that, what's coming up for me is that you finally have the time now to rest from that. A lot of times when people make those huge changes like that, they don't recognize necessarily how much work it really was. And so we're going to get you strong to really, I love what Kathy said about smaller steps. And what I do is I tune into myself, and this is what I teach at my seminars, is how for people to do this. Never met anyone who can't. To go inward and say, what am I strongest to doing right now? And sometimes I'll do something for 5 minutes and then I feel better. Like, just go find that piece of paper that I was looking for and I found it. Cool. Then I'm like, okay, now what am I strong to? And so sometimes, like, there's a whole lot of things that, like, this house is important. It is important if you're a contractor to keep an eye on the workers. And I'm getting especially there. And so you are not wasting your time. Have you ever contracted before?
Yeah, that's in the States.
Mm-hmm. So what's different about it from then and now?
Well, that the funniest thing is that I'm doing the same thing that I did in my house in Seattle. I'm doing it here. I'm doing a full remodel now. The difference is that it's not taking me 15 years. It's going to only take me a few months.
So, Kathy, wouldn't you say that's have you ever renovated, Kathy?
I have. And that's a pretty fast renovation. That's impressive.
I'm impressed if you can get that done in 3 months.
Labor is much cheaper here. Yeah. Labor is not cheaper in South America.
So you understand that now. If you just check in and see what your number is at now.
I'll say 4.
Yeah, I'm getting more like a 3. And so, but like, Kathy, tell them about the 4, the heart year. Why? Because you mentioned earlier that this 4 is really important.
Yeah. Well, I really believe that everything that goes in and out of your experience goes through the heart at some level. It's how closed it is or how wide it is, and how accepting of you of all these new experiences that are going to maybe come into your life. You need to be open to those. And so opening your heart is really important to me.
Yeah. And, even when I'm doing energetic shifts, I'm using the central nervous system.
Yeah. The
spine, the components of it, that's the hard drive of the computer. But I always plug into the heart, because I want to energetically shift people into their authentic desires. And what's coming up weak for you right now is you had certain expectations of how this was going to be. And expectations always create limitations. I prefer to anticipate my future now rather than expect things. Because how often do we get what we really expected? Have you, ever had the experience where, like, I don't know if you celebrate Christmas, maybe as a young child, and you don't get what you want?
Oh, horrible.
That's what's coming up weak. Yeah. And so if we leave room for because what you're describing to me is a situation where you're being triggered by the lack of like how expensive it is to renovate in North America rather than in South America. And so you're kind of piggybacking on some of those old issues and bringing them in here, because on some level, and you're going to love this, you have some sentimental sadness about that. Does that resonate with you?
Sentimental sadness about not living in Seattle right now, or?
No, it's more about that old part of you that you no longer need to keep.
It does resonate.
Very, very busy person that was too busy to, it took that long because it's that expensive to do it in North America. And so you had to work 2 jobs to get it done. And here, you're getting it done with ease and effortlessness, really. By the sounds of it, you seem to have more time than Kathy and I put together.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes too we don't emphasize enough gratitude, being grateful for what's in our lives at this moment in time.
And we're going to strengthen this for you too, Raul, is that when Kathy mentions gratitude,
yes,
I find that a lot of people go weak to that word, because there's many times, like, I remember one time my mom bought us, and we were teenagers, and she bought us these god awful vests, and they were all matching, like, there would have been 5 of us with matching vests going to grade 8.
Yeah.
And they were ugly. I don't know. She usually had good taste. But my friend's mom thought it was beautiful too. So I'm going to get one for her. And we all were like, I remember opening it and going, oh, it's so beautiful. and then my mom realized that none of us liked them, and all of us took them back. But that's like that forced gratitude. That's sort of what I mean by that. And so it was really funny. I started using the word appreciation.
Perfect.
Because appreciation means that not only do you are you grateful, but you understand the gift that you've been given. And gifts come in all sorts of packages from the universe, because people are rarely, see, what's coming up is you're more comfortable now than you were before, and you're more used to having discomfort. And so we're just going to get you strong to this. This is about change. Change is happening every second of every minute of every day, but people have a tendency to notice when change is not how they expected. And so we're going to strengthen you to that. And I just would like to check in with you again one more time here. What number are you at?
Yeah, I'm 3. I'm going down for sure.
Yeah. So we're going to work on that perception, not perception.
Oh, here we go. The cat thing, huh? The cat thing. Okay, got it.
Well, we've got my co-host here, but she's been very quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that cat thing like that we worked on for you before. So, Zach, how many minutes to break?
We got about 5 minutes.
Okay, cool. So let's see if we can, Kathy. What when you say that about the gratitude in that, what is your experience when you start to notice more of what you have that you love?
I think what gratitude helps me do is stay in the present moment, because that's all we really have at this very moment of time anyways. And so when I'm grateful for something, and I love your word appreciation, it allows me to really focus in on what is it that I'm really appreciative of. It could be something very big. It could be something very small, but it brings me right into that present moment. Mm-hmm. And I live from that as much as I can. And that's why opening your heart too, if you're breathing in through your heart and out through your heart, it brings you back into the present moment. So we're not thinking about the past or the future, because ultimately the present is all we have. So you want to appreciate it as much as you can.
And I've noticed with the people too, that even when we're in the present, the past and the future do have a huge effect. Absolutely. On us, because there is no time. This is so challenging to accept in the 3rd dimensional world. So, there is no such thing really as time. This is all happening at once. But in the 3D world, we have, time. And our clock isn't even right. The Gregorian calendar is off. And so that's why, for me, I always tell people, if you set your New Year's resolution and then you didn't keep it, and now you're thinking, man, it's 2020, I've started a new decade and a new year, and I already failed, have no fear, because the Chinese New Year is coming up on the 25th. And, you should check out, is the New Year the same in Chile?
I'm sorry?
As here, yeah. Because in many countries, there's about 50 different countries that celebrate on a different day, New Year's.
No, here we celebrate it like in the States. Yeah, same day.
Yeah. So we're just going to get you strong to that. You really just have a weakness to leaving United States and not leaving United States. So do you have thoughts that, you would like to go back to United States?
There's some things I would love to go back to, but there's a purpose here. There's something that is keeping me, and there's something that wants me here. There's work that I'm doing, and I'm taking it one day at a time, and I feel the pull to be here. I'm not sure it's going to be home, but I still feel the same way.
when this is something that is beautiful, because homeostasis is that state when our body, our soul, and our spirit are in perfect harmony. And when our body, soul, and spirit are balanced, then we are more likely to be able to manifest in really wonderful ways. And I love, like when I tested energetically, the saying on my homeostasis card, it's a little dragonfly, and it's my soul is home. So as long as you're at home in your own body, then we want to get you strong, that no matter where you go, you're going to be at home. And it feels really strong that it's strong for you to be in Chile. It's strong for you to be doing what you're doing right now. And so let's get you to not beat yourself up. Funny thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Even when, some people, it happens quite a bit. What happens is when people let go of that, like I call it, with sentimental sadness, that part of themselves that was no longer serving them, it kind of leaves a vacant spot. And then, people end up like, oh my, so afraid of change. I love change. Change for the better.
Well, we better love it. We're always in it.
Yeah, we have to take a break, Ro. So I want to thank you so much for calling in. We'll be
Thank you,
right
ladies.
back. Yeah, and enjoy your beautiful stay in Chile.
Thank you, dear Colette.
Okay, all right. We'll be right back. 1-800-930-2819. Right after, we'll be right back in a couple minutes here. Hello, everyone. This is Colette Marie Stefan, and we're live on Facebook. We are talking with Kathy about the Illuminate Fair, and we are clearing energy for people who are calling in. And Zach, apparently I just wanted to mention to people, so I don't forget, that you can reach me at thetruthisfunny.com and also at talesfromthevector.com. That's TAILS. If you're interested in my energy correcting cards. And also, I just wanted to mention that I'm also part of the Replenishing Life project, which is launching on the 15th of January. And my interview will be appearing on the 24th. And then I will be answering questions with Lucy Ann Shard and Morgan B. And I also wanted to let people know I have a teleconference tomorrow. That is my telespa, and this is a new one, and it's to energetically shift the vision and the eyes and make them healthy. And so that is tomorrow night at from 7 till 8, and you can still hop on board there anytime you want. You can purchase that on my website at thetruthisfunny.com. And then you can also, if you're interested in my seminars, I have some coming up in March, May, June, and September. So check that out. And we have a caller that's been waiting here, so we would like to take this call.
Susan from Barbados.
Ooh,
You are
Barbados.
live on The Truth is Funny.
Hello, Susan.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm calling kind of like the other caller that called.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Barbados. I started to build a house, and I got sick building it last year.
Okay.
And I came back.
Okay, so this energy, I just want to get a number from you, like 10, I'm really bothered by this, and 0, I'm neutral. Where are you on that scale?
Maybe a 9.
Okay, so what's coming up, I'm going to work in the background, but I'm just going to, it's interesting because Kathy said, as we're going to, do we have a caller? She was correct. You're just phoning. That's because she's psychic. And so, Kathy, you know, have you ever had that experience where you've been too ill to be able to work, or a family member has?
Yeah, what it does is it energetically pulls you back and makes you really look at what's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't look at it as a negative thing. It may be inconvenient, but it pulls you back and you have an opportunity to really, okay, how am I feeling about this? You get in touch with more of what's going on. Sickness can be, you know, oftentimes felt like it's a negative, but it oftentimes is a good thing for you in a weird way, because you're able to really it brings you back to what's happening in your life. You don't you're more focused on trying to get yourself well, and so you're pulling yourself back in. That's what I feel.
So for me, the number one weakness that's coming up is that you feel that it's going to take so much work for you to regain your health. And health is a given. When you're in homeostasis, health is a given. And so if we identify what the problem really was, so you were working away on this house, and then you got sick and you had to stop?
I had contractors.
You what?
Working on it. I
Sorry,
had contractors working on it.
Uh-huh.
I had contractors working on it.
Mm-hmm. And what happened?
I just got sick because there was so much mixed up, you know?
Mm-hmm. So this is so similar to what Kathy was just saying before about making a list, writing things down, being organized. And I talk about this a lot because I've been working with these energy correcting cards, and I've been placing them in certain directions. And they've been out there, I was thinking 3 years, but it's 4 years because it's 2020 now. But what happens is people, we have one called declutter, like it's our declutter card, and it's called reckless abandon, and that's WRECK. And I find that if people feel like their environment is cluttered, sometimes it'll clutter the body. How is your health now?
I came back on the 1st
Mm-hmm.
from last year to start 1st of January to start it over again.
Mm-hmm.
My body, it's still not there, you know.
Mm-hmm. So
when
what are the symptoms?
My feet are aching.
Your feet?
And I had a
Okay,
bad
so your feet, you are, is it the soles of your feet?
my lower back. Pardon me?
Is it the soles of your feet that are bothering you?
Yeah.
Okay, because this is coming up a soul issue. The universe has a sense of humor. So we're just going to strengthen you to like that, your that authentic self triad, that your soul, your spirit, and your body are in perfect synchronization. And we're going to pull that energy in and plug it into your heart. Is the reason why you started to build the house in Barbados still the reason why you came back to rebuild the house in Barbados?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just going to strengthen that for you. I love how the synchronicity that happens when callers get together. We're running short of time we're almost at the end of the radio show. So I want to thank you for calling in. I just wanted to check with you. Has your number changed at all?
Yeah, it went down.
What number are you at?
About a 6.
Wow, that's a pretty good shift. So we're going to strengthen that for you and then put you into consistent steps of action. And the bottoms of your feet, we're just going to strengthen you to recognize that your soul is telling you something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and having uncomfortable soles of the feet is a soul issue. And so it's good that, like Kathy said, that you took a little rest here.
Yeah.
It really is. So thank you for calling in. And Kathy, we just want to, we only have a couple minutes left. Radio time flies by.
I know, it's so incredible.
And I'm just want to say that I am so blessed to have you in my life. And that I really like working energetically with you. And I love the synchronicity of how the people that call in, I want to point out that this is going to change. When you listen to this before or later, you can listen to this and strengthen yourself to these things also. So Kathy, we got like about a minute left. How do we buy tickets at Illuminate?
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, so come and be part of this amazing community. You can see Colette is part of that, and together, magical things happen. So join us at Illuminate. You can go to www.illuminateyourlife.ca, and right there you can buy tickets right on our website. And we'll hope to see you on the 30th, the 31st, the 1st of February, and the 2nd of February in Kelowna, BC. And thank you, Colette. Many blessings to you. And thank you for being part of it. You will be the opening act. So we're very grateful for that. Going to set the energy in motion. So
I'm really stoked about this event. I can feel the energy building. Last night, my cat was flying around the house and she projectile vomited a couple times. She was so excited.
That's very awesome.
She's a young cat and she could just feel the energy. Like she was just, woo.
That's exactly what will happen when you come to the Illuminate Fair, because there's 55 plus exhibitors this year, and 7 speakers throughout the weekend, and just so many things there's something for everybody, honestly.
Absolutely.
It's so beautiful. Yeah.
So, and I also want to thank Dr. Pat at Transformation Talk Radio for giving us all this opportunity. And thank you, Zach, for producing this show. I love doing shows with you, and also to the people who called in and everybody listening. Thank you so much. We'll be back next Wednesday, 8 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.